how sweet it is. Sweet love by you nerds. What is up? It's me, buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. Legit forgot the name of the channel. It just gone. You're here on HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. Oh my God, what did my sound just went? Now my sound's back. I put my feet up on the stool here, and then the sound cut off, and I was like, oh my God, what did I do? I think you guys are still here. I think you still hear me. Pretty sure. Anyway, this is your weekly Thursday night show. I said it's your weekly Thursday night show where we sit back, relax, and most definitely, hopefully, you can pour yourself a a little bit of,
more specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
yes, it's Thursday. It is your weekend pregame show, and there's a lot to talk about. It has been Ghostbusters Central here on the channel, which I love, and I can talk about it all day. But I kind of want to talk about some other stuff. We've glossed over a lot in the build up to Ghostbusters Day. And I will be talking about Ghostbusters Day with Dave on Tuesday. You should get a podcast of Rambling with Anthony dropping hopefully this weekend, talking about that. So you'll have plenty of Ghostbusters stuff. But yeah, let's diversify those bonds and words. And without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend. It is me. I'm the problem. It's me. Does anybody remember where that's from? Diversify your bones. I don't think they said it like that, but they did say that. Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see ya. Let's go. There you go. I think I was only, 3 minutes late today? 2 minutes late? Something like that. I was enjoying some pizza, watching Abbott Elementary with the wife. Good times. Alanya in the house. Hello, good evening. Can't stay for too long as I needed to go to my Zumba class at ZOZ Fitness. There you go. I'm weeks behind on working out. It is not good. KO in the house. Good to see you. That's right. True. The man collects in the house. Good to see you. There you go. See, Dave knows his stuff, man. Dave knows his stuff. Louis in the house. Good to see you. Fellow Buster. Patrick in the house. Good to see you. Actually, hold on a second. Am I behind on a Patrick video? I think I'm behind on a Patrick video. I just thought of that. Let's see. Know your craft. We're going to YouTube for this one, because I think I might be behind on a Patrick video, and I gotta make sure. I can't be doing that. Oh, my audio messed. Can you guys hear me? Yes. It's like my volume changed just now. Craziness. First of all, I got to subscribe from here. I'm tripping. And video. I am. I'm behind. I did not watch this video. So I'm going to hit share. I'm going to hit copy. And make sure you guys also watch Patrick's latest video and hit subscribe. All that fun stuff. Also, make sure you check out, if you're into the Ghostbusters kind of thing, the real Nerdbusters over on the interweb, actually. TheRealNerdbusters.com, a.k.a. nerdaffiliated.com. But it's your nerd nerdy Ghostbuster sidetrack, detour, if you would. There you could find pictures from Ghostbusters Day, so make sure you check that out. I have a video here of Hasbro going over Two in the Box, so make sure you check that out. It was a fun time. But also, like I said, you can just go to nerdaffiliated.com. Links to every single thing, including the latest clips, videos, all that stuff. You can find it there. Of course, we are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are on TikTok. All that good stuff. All that good stuff. Patrick says, don't worry, I'm always behind on a Patrick video too. Stay editing a backlog. You'd appreciate it. No worries, man. And yes, as Dave said, smash that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to Dave's Dimension. Actually, can I play this audio here? Let me see if I can do this. So I'm gonna comment on one thing. I'm gonna comment on one Ghostbuster related thing today. Let me make sure everything is linked here. Looks like it beyond. Let's see. I'm gonna switch. Try this. Why is it? Oh, maybe this? No. Try this. Oh, I was still muted. No sound. Professional streamer. He's new. Yeah. It's that new computer setup, man. It's that new. Let me see. Does this come through now? No, still not coming through. What the hell, man? What the hell? Now you hear me. Okay. It's a journey, man. Life's a journey. It is a journey. What I was trying to say was, what I was trying to say was, and this will be my only Ghostbuster talk of today. Aaron Waller in the house. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, Hobbies of Jose in the house. Good to see you. Sorry, I didn't say hi before. Give you your own button hit. What I was trying to say before was, so for Ghostbuster weekend, I was hot mic'd. Meaning, or reason being, I had a mic on my jumpsuit, on my flight suit. So that way, as I was recording, I had my camera going with a mic on top so I could record as people were talking to the camera. But then I had my own mic on my chest so that way, as I was talking or narrating, which I didn't do much of, but if I was, you could hear me over the loud sounds around. So I had two mics. The one on the camera that picked up when I was recording on the camera, the one on my flight suit. Now, the one on my flight suit was just recording. It just goes. That's actually what I used when I got that audio of Jason David Frank, if you guys remember that. And I try not to ever post or publish any audio that is recorded with that if the camera's not going, because most people don't know that you're being recorded. It's just going. Again, it's to pick me up over all the background noise. Turns out I only used probably like 2 clips out of that this weekend. But was crossing the street, and what I was going to say to that point is I like when genuine things happen that I can put people on blast with to show that they were actually good people. So, for example, the JDF one, I was hot mic'd, and I picked up when he was talking about Austin St. John and was saying, essentially people are innocent until proven guilty, and don't let the man ruin your childhood. So I put that out after he passed because I was like, I feel like people should know that there was like a good side to JDF, even though a lot of us knew that, but there was also, speculations and all that stuff. But he said that unprompted. I didn't put it out there, but I had the audio. This weekend, we're walking around. Hasbro was there, and Steve, myself, and I think Mike were coming out of the bar. Myself and Mike. Steve was still at the bar. We went to the bar across the street. We leave. We're crossing over to see what's going on. What's up, Zombie Hunter? Good to see you. And Dave is talking to this guy here. Turns out this guy here works for Hasbro. And I could see, when I walked up to him, because he had on the shirt, he had the pin. Those are teasers for the new HasLab. That was just announced that same day. He had the Hasbro HasLab patch on. That's not been released yet. So I was like, oh, this is a Hasbro guy. And in the audio, you hear Dave essentially, I wish I could play it. I don't know why it's not playing, but you'll see it when you watch the video. Dave is like, hey, if you don't mind talking to this guy, if you don't mind, this is my friend HeyArcher, fellow content creator. Do you mind if he talks to you? My audio just jumped. You guys still hear me? I think you still hear me. He's a content creator. If you don't mind, can he talk to you? And he goes, Archer, this is Zach from HasLab, from Hasbro. He's got the two in the box. It's your turn now. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, camera out. Boom. Let's go. Let's do it. But he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that layup. He could have just been like, walked over, you won't believe what just happened, blah, 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 gone off, said whatever. But he legit was like, oh, this guy, my buddy, is also making content, also documenting this thing. Before you talk to anybody else who's starting to gather around, can you talk to him real quick? So to Dave.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Because again, things that a lot of people don't have to do, but they do it. And I'm glad that I could have been hot mic'd for it, so the world will see that he is a kind fellow, a jolly good fellow. If people would, if I'm to choose some phrasing there. But the zombie hunter saying just chilling, the fire alley-oop. Yep, that's what friends do. There you go. There you go. And I will say, I will teaser it up, but Dave also got some information from other people there. I will not repeat. If Dave ever decides to release that information, he can. But he got the scoop. He got the scoop. So I'll let him, at whatever point, talk about that. Talk about that. All right. But I want to talk about some non-Ghostbuster stuff. Like I said, we haven't been doing that a lot lately. You know, we were kind of leading up to the day, so some things got missed. I don't know why my audio keeps just jumping on me. I'm not sure why. But some things got missed. Some of the stuff I probably would have talked about on Nerdy Coffee every Monday morning, 8 a.m.-ish Eastern, here on Nerd Affiliated. But I figure we talk about a couple things now. So right now I am scrolling through IGN. I'm going to let IGN kind of walk me through this real quick, because I feel like a lot of stuff happened in the last like 2, maybe 3 weeks. Let's see. Did I go back far enough? I think I went too far. I went back too far. But you know what? Actually, we're going to do some toy news first. We're going to do some toy news. We're going into the world of Hot Toys. Let's show off this baby here. Millennium Workshop. Good to see you. By the way, did you guys see what he posted today? Did you guys see what Millennium posted today? What Mr. Rex posted today? Look at that. Look at that. I don't know how he does it. I don't understand it. The sorcery that this man has. The force is strong with him. He's strong in the force in ways that some could see. What did Palpatine said? I'm forgetting the word. Look at that. Unnatural. Again, 3D prints that he makes look like metal. It is wild. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, Rex kills it. Crazy. Oh, Louis, you got the Lego Ecto 1. Yeah, they're discontinuing it. Yeah. But yeah, crazy. Shout out to Millennium Workshop. But yeah, we got the reveal of possibly the greatest Hugh Jackman figure of all time. I'm not going to say the greatest Wolverine figure. I won't go that far just yet. That's quite the flag to wave. But the greatest Hugh Jackman figure. Hugh Jackman Wolverine figure. So here we're at Sideshow. They announced this past week, and they are getting so good with the head sculpts. So good. The arms swap out too. I just caught that. So in the trailers and in the posters, we've seen 2 versions of Wolverine. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Love that. Love that. Supporting each other. So we saw... Oh, wait. Zombie Hunter, you make figures too? Send me a link. Send it to the Real Nerdbusters so I can show it. So we saw 2 versions of Wolverine going into the movie. One with sleeves, one without sleeves. So I think we're all kind of confused. Like, was it CGI'd on? Like, are they going to be there? What's the story? But it turns out Sideshow here is giving you both versions. They're giving you the arms with the sleeves, and they're giving you the sleeveless version. They're calling it the battle damage version. Oh, there's also 2 chest plates. Wow. So this does not have the bullet holes versus the other one has the bullet holes. Okay. Nice. This is crazy. This is crazy. So we've talked about it a number of times here on the channel. This has been the motto of 2024, where it's the year of buying your definitive versions of things. And I'm not going to lie, I can't think of a better version of Hugh Jackman Wolverine to buy, if that's what you're going for. If you're going for a movie style display collection, you can't tell me to buy a Marvel Legend version of this at this point. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Now, it is a bit pricey at $340. The regular version is $280, which I believe is still higher than what they normally do Hot Toys for. But this one will also come with different hands, lower faces, claws. So this one's only sleeveless. Interesting. I would have assumed that at $280, it also would have had the long sleeves. Otherwise, I think $240 is normally their like entry point. So that's an interesting decision there. But this one here, I mean, just saying. I don't collect Hot Toys, but that is a dope ass figure. Yeah. First time seeing him in true yellow. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, Hot Toys and Sideshow this year, the reveals have been insane. Insane. All right, going back to... Actually, let's go to Legacy of Nerd. He's been posting a lot of news as well. So this one made my day. This one made my day. So Marvel, allegedly with the Blade movie, it says here, the planned Blade Marvel film has lost what seems like their 27th director, and the script will get its 374th rewrite. So, not accurate numbers, but he's pretty damn close, I'd say. This is crazy. This is crazy. And the reason I wrote here, I called it, we'd have to go way back in the archive. Way, way back in the archive. But when they announced the Blade movie, and they said that Marshala, I'm forgetting his full name, Marshala, whatever, was playing Blade, I was like, this is not the answer. This is not it. Because he's too old. He was too old back then. He was like in his late 40s, I think. And to me, if you're launching Blade, this has to be like an ongoing series. This can't be a one and done type of thing. So why not use Blade as your, one of your tentpole Marvel characters as far as the cinematic universe goes? Get somebody young, have them play through the different movies of Blade, or different versions, storylines, whatever you want to do. I wanted a young Blade story, Whistler played by Wesley Snipes. Don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what I would do. So seeing this, again, not surprising. Not surprising at all. Another cancellation that we got was Power Rangers. Power Rangers over at Netflix. Catching up on the comments real quick. Millennium says, yellow's my favorite color. Always loved Wolverine as a kid. Yeah. Can't wait to get that Wolverine by Mafex in 4 years. Yeah, it would take him a long time. I don't know. I might be going down a hot toy road. It might be happening. It might be happening. But Power Rangers, they canceled or Netflix canceled the Power Ranger reboot that was coming to their streaming site. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by that. They're no longer moving forward at Netflix, Hasbro to redevelop with a new partner. You know, I talked about this when it came to Ghostbusters as a whole, and it applies here. And you know what? We're going to talk about it. It applies to Star Wars as well. At a certain point, you have to start getting new fans into the franchise, into all the franchises. Like, you can make stuff that caters to us hardcores, but you got to somehow do both, or at least, you know, find something down the middle. And I'm not saying that's an easy feat to do by any stretch of the imagination. Tongue twister there. But Once and Always, to me, was trash. It was absolutely trash. And yes, there's bits of fan service in Once and Always, but at the end of the day, I didn't think Once and Always did anything to recapture any casual Power Ranger fans. Did it do enough to satisfy hardcore fans? Sure. What's the difference between the two? A hardcore fan knows the real life names of all the actors in Mighty Morphin. Whereas a casual fan maybe knows the first names of the characters, but that's about it. So whenever we're getting a new release, trying to do a big push, trying to really get names out there, to me, you got to grab casuals as well as satisfy the hardcores. Again, hard to do. Once and Always, I think, was strictly hardcores. And yes, it kept a lot of the camp that was part of the original show. You know, coin flip on if that was a good decision or not. But at the end of the day, it was a shitty project. And I don't think it did anything for the franchise. So seeing this, I'm not surprised. Now, Aaron said, hot take, I think they would do well with Prime. Prime makes amazing series. I agree with that. I think Power Rangers always at Amazon Prime, or going to Amazon Prime, would be a good move. Now, is Amazon Prime, I don't even know if that's what that division's called. Amazon Video, Amazon Streaming. I don't know, but would that division want to pay the licensing to have Power Rangers? Don't know. I don't know what Hasbro's charging for that. But I think they could do it. The hard question, and I would not want to make this decision. I would very much not want to be in the boardroom for this one. Is it a full-on reboot, disregarding everything that's come out? Is it like another universe version? Do we include some of the OG characters? And if we do that, are they playing the OG characters or are they new characters? A lot of decisions there. I wouldn't want to be part of that. I mean, I would. If you guys want to hire me, by all means. But that's a tough decision because you're going to piss people off either way. It doesn't matter. And speaking of that, you know, one last time going to Ghostbusters, I learned that this weekend. A lot of people, when it came to the HasLab Ghostbusters release that's coming out, people saw it. They saw the demo in my video and other people's videos, and a lot of people were mad. Oh, it's not accurate. Oh, it's too big. Oh, it looks like this and not like that. And in that moment, I learned, oh, okay, you really can't win. Either you're going to satisfy this group or you're going to satisfy that group. You're not going to get them both. Unless you do something like X-Men 97. X-Men 97 managed to continue a story, mature the story, but keep it dumbed down enough that even the casual person could watch it and enjoy it. But they didn't look at it and think, oh, this is like kiddie stupidness. They didn't think that at all. But a kid can still watch it, in my opinion. So, and now I'm starting to think my headphones are shorting out. I'm starting to think that's what the issue is. Millennium says full reboot. Creativity in the house. Good to see you. Millennium says rated R. Jason David Frank actually talked about that when that fan film came out, and he was like, I don't support that because Power Rangers is always for kids. Like, it has to be for kids. I love that idea of a rated R reboot, but we'll see. People like to complain, and I hope someone agrees. Yeah. It's true. It's damn true. Let's go to Screen Rant real quick. I know they were posting some stuff. I'm with Millennium Workshop. Make it dark like the first few minutes of the 2017 version. Yeah, you do that. The crazy thing too is, and I've mentioned this before, Stranger Things to me changed the rules on all of this. Stranger Things is very much not a kids show, but somehow they can still cater to kids, and parents are still cool with their kids watching it, even though it's very bloody, very violent of a show. So to me, Stranger Things flipped the script, and I don't see why more shows don't just target like that pre-teen, teenager age group and just make a good story. Just go for it. I don't hear myself in my headphones, but I could see the mic audio still going. So you guys let me know if you still hear me. I can't tell if it's the cord or the headphones themselves. Let me try something. Because now it's weird not hearing myself in my headphones. Just like the Chappelle Show episode. Turn my headphones up. I can't hear myself. There we go. It was the computer. It was not the headphones. All right, so House of the Dragon renewed for season 3 just before season 2 premiere. I didn't even realize that season 2 came out, so I definitely got to watch that. Season 2 is great. I am not a Game of Thrones fan, but I loved House of the Dragon. Loved it. Another show actually that is in its final season I liked the first episode was Evil. If you guys have not watched Evil, change that and do so. All right. I'm just going to go for it. Just gonna go for it. Got to refill this. All right. So this says brand new characters and storylines keep the franchise alive. The Acolyte is the biggest Star Wars entry point reset since The Mandalorian. And they wrote here, opinion. People have shared other Mandalorian things, so let's see here. What do we got? Anakin really was born by the will of the Force to be the chosen one. The Acolyte just debunked one hugely popular Anakin Skywalker origin theory. What else? The Acolyte suggests lightsaber colors really aren't that important. Don't care. Oh, Daisy Ridley confirms new Star Wars movie isn't part of a trilogy for now. Interesting. Anything else here? That's a video clip. What is this? Acolyte starred showrunner tease a thrilling fight scene in episode 5. The Acolyte's opening repeats Obi-Wan's oldest lie. The galaxy isn't at peace. Yeah. The lies. The lies. Okay. The Acolyte. Let's get into The Acolyte. I'm going spoilers on this one. I'm going to break my own rule. Figure Fever in the house. Good to see you. I'm going to break my own rule. And has it been 48 hours? Comes out Tuesdays, Wednesday? Yeah, it's been 48 hours. All right. It's not really breaking that rule, but we're going to talk spoilers about episode 3 of The Acolyte, which I think is very necessary for talking about the show as a whole. Now, I feel like the fandom is in an interesting place with this show. And I'm kind of starting to wonder if this was intentional by Disney. I'm really starting to wonder that. Now, I'm going to use this word because I can't think of another word on how to describe what's happening. Although I hate this word, I don't like to use the word, and I feel like the word has been warped into a negative when technically it should be a positive. And that could come from anybody. The reasons why it warped or was manipulated. I can't tell if this show is like extremely woke on purpose or on purpose, but like as a gag or not as a gag. I can't tell. I cannot tell. Now, to parallel this, Star Trek Discovery very much checks that box in a lot of ways. Sometimes I think to its own detriment. And it's they're not doing it as a gag. Now, I understand the conversation. Star Trek's always been woke, if you want to label it that. Again, I don't like using that word because I am all about representation. So let's just get that part addressed. Why does my audio keep cutting? Sorry. Let me know if the audio is cutting for you guys as you're listening to. Because in my headphones, it like starts to cut. But Star Trek Discovery is like, to me, like, sometimes it's like too much. I'm like, all right, chill out. Like, I get it. I'm with you. Anything goes. Let's just do it. Just get me the story. In this show, it got to the point in episode 3 where I felt like they were beating me over the head with it. And in an unnecessary, at an unnecessary level of it. Now, I'm going to address one part. And this part seems to be pissing people off. And this is where I will defend Star Wars. This is the only part in this entire conversation where I'm going to defend Star Wars. People are mad that the main characters, right, are these two sisters, Osha and whatever the other one's name is, which I don't even know if they're two different actresses or not. At least the kid versions. I think the adults are the same person, but the kid versions. So we have another set of twins. That already made me facepalm. But in episode 3, they establish that the twins were born through the Force. Actually, where was that picture? Tied to this. So, in episode 3, they established that you have a bunch of witches, similar to the Night Sisters on Dathomir. So you have a bunch of sisters, and they establish that this woman here, who is the mother of the witches, again, similar to like Mother Towson with the Night Sisters, that she used the Force to impregnate another Night Sister or witch, and that witch gave birth to the twins in the show. Once again, this is the only part where I will defend this show. Legacy of Nerd in the house. Good to see you. The part that's crazy to me here is Dre in the house. Good to see you. All right, I'm going to stop saying hi to people until I get through this thought. The crazy part to me here is, one, we've seen this before with this example, Anakin born through the Force. So we've seen somebody have the ability to be born in the Force. I think this diminishes the Anakin thing by them being like, oh, anybody could do it. Personally, that's a side conversation. But we've seen this before. So her having the other woman impregnated, I don't think is that big of a deal because we've already seen this before by Anakin's mom being Shmi, right? Was that her name? We've her being impregnated by the Force. So that to me is not out of pocket. It's out of pocket that they're doing it, but not that it could be done. Two, we have the established Night Sisters already on Dathomir. So I know they don't really say it, but how the hell do we think they're reproducing? Like, did we assume one of two things? One, were they taking like Darth Maul's people, using them as like sex slaves for snoo, and that's how they were reproducing? Or were they using the Force? It was like one of the two. One of the two things were happening. So the show, to me, just said it out loud that when you have these women witch groups, like the Witches of Dathomir, or the Night Sisters of Dathomir, and now this group, they just said out loud that they have to use the Force to reproduce. That's all they really did. So that part, I'm not really sure why people are upset outside of them just saying it. That part's confusing to me. Now, I'm not trying to bash anybody. So people can do what they do with the information. People can say what they want to say and, all of that stuff. But I don't think in that episode, I don't see how that was the most out-of-pocket thing they did, personally. I think the twins angle is done. I don't know why we're doing that again. I think there's shitty things with the way the Jedi are portrayed in this episode. I know the Jedi are kind of pieces of shit because they do take kids to train them. But, I think this episode, if I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt, because we haven't finished it, I feel like this episode was like one person's perspective of what happened. Maybe. But it's a messy episode. It's a messy episode. The reason the Jedi are there is messy. Them wanting to take the twins is messy. The story of the twins is messy. But I think that in there was potential, right? So immediately as the episode's playing out, I'm thinking of The Good Son. If you guys remember that movie, Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin. I'm thinking of Kylo Ren, right? Like, you have somebody who turns on their family, slaughters everybody. And The Good Son doesn't happen, but he's a murderer, right? Like, there's one sibling that's evil. So we've seen that before. As far as the twins go, we already have the Luke and Leia thing, pretty established. We also had the twin thing with the Old Republic video game, that awesome cutscene that should have been a movie. So why we have to go back to the well on the twin thing, I don't see it. I don't understand it. The way that the families were dead at the end, or the witches were dead at the end, stupid. Again, I think it's a perspective, so I'm not really sure, like, if that, what the idea is there. overall, I think it's one of the worst Star Wars shows out there. I don't think it's worse than Boba Fett. I think Boba Fett's still probably the worst show. I think Mando season 3 is still pretty bad, but I think this show has to be completed for me to rank it. And at the same time, I think we're comparing shit to shit. Boba was bad. Mando season 3 was bad. Andor was bad. My audio again keeps cutting out. Ahsoka was bad. So I think we're just splitting hairs on this one, to be honest. And you guys can let me know if you agree or disagree on that one. Personal opinion. Let's go up to the comments real quick. The Jedi only take the kids if they want to be trained. So that's another thing, right? So people are complaining, oh, they're not supposed to take kids that old. There's the rules about all that stuff. And then one of the things I think Eckhart's Ladder said, which I was thinking that when I was watching the episode, was, oh, maybe the events of this show, they're going to say, influence the Jedi's rules going forward. Don't take kids past a certain age. Don't take twins. I don't know. Like that kind of stuff. Well, that was one of the things I was thinking of. Steve in the house. Good to see you. Dre says, it seems like everyone is spewing a lot of hate speech about the series, which is not healthy and toxic to the community. So I agree and disagree, right? Anybody who's ridiculing the show, I agree with the ridicules of the show as a whole, right? I just think that the witches birthing amongst themselves is the least egregious thing they did. Now, it was annoying as hell that they kept emphasizing it. Like, I was just like, all right, I get it. Move on. That was annoying as shit. I was just like, all right, I'm over it. I get it. I understand. You said it. But it's still not, to me, the most egregious thing of that episode. Oh, by the way, I feel like I missed in the hellos. Discovery's done now. I liked it for the most part. I liked not so much the first season, like the two after that. The last two seasons, I think, have been very weak. I still support the show because I think overall, like, Star Trek's doing the best of any. Between the two, Star Trek and Star Wars, I think Star Trek is the superior franchise at the moment. But this season of Discovery has been terrible. Aaron Waller says, I think everyone was mostly up in arms about the diminishing of Anakin's story of the Chosen One by giving him the unique no father born of the Force to another set of characters. I kind of disagree with that. I don't think people were mad about that as much as they were mad about the lesbian relationship of we're having kids amongst ourselves. Now, the reason I say that is if people were mad about the diminishing, they probably don't know enough about the lore to know, and this is where I wish Jenna Kenobi was here. They may not know enough about the lore to note and acknowledge that whole theory of Plagueis or Sidious, like, almost forcing the birth of Anakin, right? I think there's a story where, like, they actually do Sith alchemy to have somebody born. And then I think there's also a story of them being so powerful, or Sidious being so powerful, that because there's a rule of two amongst the Force as well, that they were so powerful and so evil in the dark side that the Force had to create a light side to counter that. But that light side ended up being corrupted, then the birth of the twins came out to counteract that part, right? So there's lore there, I think, to back up anybody who's like mad about Anakin being diminished to be like, no, technically we've seen somebody born through the Force forcefully, no pun intended, not just immaculate conception. So I think they're more mad about the lesbian part of it than they are the Anakin tie to it. Everybody's saying hi to Steve. Aaron Waller says the show is mostly disappointing in that they had every chance to do something different, yet they smashed all the same things we've seen from the other entries together. Agreed. And I think that's what we all wanted, was something different. Literally, the only thing different we got so far is that a knife will kill a Jedi. A knife to the chest, but lightsaber blades do not. I agree the writing needs work. Acting and the CGI as well need help, but no need to use a show as a way to spew hate towards LGBT groups. Agreed. Like I said, I don't see how the concept of that is enough to be mad. But I agree they beat you over the head with it in episode 3. Personal opinion. Your audio's fine, by the way. I can hear you fine. Great. Thank you. This show sounds like it was written by AI. Hopefully not too much hate if actual writers. That's a fact. Much like monks in Chinese monasteries did to teach Kung Fu in the ancient times. The Kung Fu aspect of the show, I'm actually fine with, because I like the fact that this is like different. The Jedi are different versus what we are normally used to. But I wish the show was much earlier than 100 years. Because to me, the training, there's so many people who are still involved in the Jedi Council and in the Jedi from this show to the fall of the Jedi. Or Fall of the Republic or whatever. There's so many consistent players here for me to think, oh, they went from just like we're learning Kung Fu to we're just straight up lightsabers on anybody. Doesn't matter. Like the 100 years is too close. If this was like a 500 year earlier thing, then I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. But now I'm just like, it's too close in time to be like, oh, they've made drastic changes. Like, oh, we don't take lightsabers out unless we're going to kill. We use Kung Fu versus straight up Force, whatever. Legacy says, I agree that you can criticize the show, but people being toxic for social reasons is ridiculous. Yeah. I agree. And, maybe it's a perfect storm too, right? Like, people are already triggered by it being Pride Month, which, again, I don't understand why people get mad about this. I remember, I'll get political for a second. I remember before, not the last election, but the election before that, there was a huge libertarian push. Even I was waving the flag. And the concept was, you just do you, as long as you don't impede on me. Like, I think there was even some like Republican meme of like, libertarian meme that was like, I support my gay friends' right to smoke weed and buy guns. Just you do your thing in your house, I do my thing in my house. And I feel like we're losing that. And I feel like we're going backwards. Again, something I like about Star Trek traditionally is it pushes the boundaries of the norm, but it doesn't beat you over the head with it. Star Wars, I think, especially this show, is beating you over the head with it. And I think the Star Trek Discovery is beating you over the head with it. And people are getting mad about you getting beat over the head with it versus it just being played out as just normal. I don't know if I hope that makes sense. I think if they stay true to the movies, then I think it's okay. But a long time before episode 1, the Jedi were pricks and maybe they changed. Yeah. I mean, they were pricks even in the prequel movies. But in episode 3, the reason I think this might be somebody's perception is they essentially were doing a wellness check on these kids. And I'm like, did you not do wellness checks on any other witches when they were born? Like, how is this a thing? Like, why is this a thing now? And also, the girl wanting to kill the Jedi makes me feel like something else happened that we just haven't seen yet. My thought. Tied to that, I lost my thought. We haven't seen it yet. They cannot do another bad guy turns good thing. We can't have that on this show. Just let her be bad. If anything, the two of them fight. One kills the other one. They both die. I don't know, and I don't care. But what I do care about, do not have one of them turn good at the end, or the evil one turn good. Strange New Worlds is on the level of Next Generation, in my opinion. Yeah, Strange New Worlds is great. I tell everybody to watch that show. Anybody who's like, oh, I used to watch Star Trek, or I'm not sure about Star Trek, Strange New Worlds is the show. Plagueis was tampering with life and resurrection. There's a huge belief. You can see why the Anakin theory carries weight. Yeah, for sure. And to me, it is annoying that they're showing somebody else could do it, because that also diminishes Plagueis and Sidious. But they are trying to say here that there's more to the Force than just the Jedi and the Sith. Like, it's the same power source. Everybody uses it differently, is the message you're trying to say. I just think it diminishes things. Everybody's saying hi. Legacy said, I thought it was canon that Palpatine influenced Anakin's birth, but lost track of where the birth was happening. Same. But I couldn't remember if it was that part, Plagueis being a factor in that, or them two doing so much like sorcery, the Force was forced, no pun intended, to birth Anakin. I can't remember which of the three is officially canon. That's why somebody needs to call Kenobi on his vacation and get him to chime in here. Millennium says, fan theory here, the fires that O is seeing in May, trying to bust out of the mindscape because, the sisters are controlling May. All the sisters are not dead. It was an illusion. Jedi saw their own illusion. Interesting. I could see that. Dre says, technically the MMORPG that Star Wars had, that was like 1,000 years before Star Wars, we grew up on. It's technically the Star Wars that had the the online multiplayer game. Did they have that in there? It is being beat over the head or trying to help spread awareness. I mean, using the medium to help spread awareness is not bad, but yes, I agree, beating you over the head at times is not helping. Yeah. And that's all I'm saying. The message being out there is fine. It's the delivery is what needs work. And what I think is happening on the show is the creator, whatever her name is so about being woke that she's doing more damage than helping. Like, for example, there's one white guy in this episode? I think just one. And it's like, all right, cool. Like, you have a mixture of people, but like, it's a little on the nose that we only got one. Have more of a mixture of people, right? Star Trek Discovery, actually, same thing. You look on the bridge, I think there's only one white guy. It's just weird. I'm not saying you need to meet a quota on anybody, but you need to like mix it up. And if you don't mix it up, it looks weird either direction. Either the Friends direction, where there's like no black people in New York, which that's weird, or this episode, there's only one white guy, the Padawan, and that's weird. I only want to know what's up with the Dark Side Ultron, who we haven't seen since the end of episode 1. Fan theory is... Oh, I'll check Facebook. Fan theory is... I don't know if you guys want me to like say something if it ends up being true. But fan theory is that it's the guy, it's the Asian dude from episode 2. That's the thought process. And I'd be fine with that theory. Trying to find... Did you send it on... Did you send it to like my personal one or to Nerd Affiliated? Oh, here we go. Wow. Can I... Let me see if I could show this. It's a different window, so I just got to make sure Ecamm identifies the window. Here you go. That's sick. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, right. You made this. I forgot about that. Shout out to you. Roberts. Government name. Yes, I saw this on... Was it Rogue 5 Cantina that they showed this? That is crazy. That is crazy. Love it. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I forgot to have my automated message on there. It comes on. So yeah, not to beat a dead horse here, but do I think Star Wars was out of pocket this week? No. Do I think the show is trash? Yes. And I also think the numbers are fudged. I think so many people watched it to see how bad it was breaking some of their records. I don't think it continues, unless it continues to be bad and people keep checking it out. We shall see. Last thing that we did not talk about was Venom. We got a Venom trailer that dropped a couple weeks ago. A full-length trailer. Also, shout out to Godzilla -1 that dropped about 2 weeks ago. So we got a Venom trailer. Venom 3, making the best Spider-Man 4 story less likely, is very frustrating. So, I don't know how, but Venom keeps coming out. People keep watching this movie. Therefore, it keeps making enough money to keep being released. By the way, I think this is cap. I don't buy this. Acolyte has been review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic. No. That I disagree with. I think people just legit just hate the show. Let's do numbers. We like numbers here. Venom. All right, so Venom 1. Let me I'm going to split screen here if you guys don't mind. You know we like some Excel sheets. Whoop. All right. So I don't think I have Venom on here. I don't think I've added that. I have not. So we're going to go to the bottom. Venom release 10/3/2018. No theater count. The open was 80 million. Total domestic 213. Wow. You know, it's funny. People always are like, "Oh, you don't factor for inflation when you're giving the numbers," but they literally say that to defend that new movies aren't doing as well. And I'm like, bro, the dollar went less. It got you less. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The dollar now gets you less. So it costs you more to do something now than it did back then. So if something back then got 856 million, now that number probably would be over $1 billion because it costs you more to go to the theaters now than back then. So when people are like mad at me, you people on Reddit and other places saying, "Oh, you're not factoring for inflation," you're actually making the current movie look worse. Sidebar. Franchise. I'm gonna say Sony Spider. No, that's like. What I have on here? Do I have? I only have Spider-Verse. I'm gonna say Sony Venom verse. I'm just gonna make that a thing. There you go. Because we still haven't had the crossover yet. Venom. Actually, you know what? Legacy character, I'm going to say Spider-Man. Studio is Sony Pictures, Marvel, and... All right. What was the budget? What was the budget for 2018 Venom? 100 million. Wow. See, we are all the problem. All of us are the problem. Venom 1, before DVD releases, toys, all that stuff, following the rule of two, 656 million in profit. All right. Let There Be Carnage, 2021. Post-COVID. Venom. Let There Be Carnage. Shit. All right. We have September 30th, 2021. No theater count. Open. Post-COVID, $90 million. Oop. Wow. Total domestic, 213, 550,000,366. International, which understandably is lower. It took them way longer to get out of COVID overseas than it took us. Venom 2021. 110 million. Look at that. Now, that's a massive drop, right? The first one to the second one. But if you're in the boardroom and you're like, "Oh, we lost out on China until 2023," as far as, or Asia, I should say, actually, like it was like everywhere was on like lockdowns longer than we were. If I factor that was all lost, then I'm still like, even if this movie makes 100 million profit, that's still 100 million profit. So this movie is coming out because of us. Sony is screwing up the IP. I want to agree with you, but And that's the thing. That's the thing that I will always say here on the channel. And I didn't even make this up. But it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. All of us that are out here like shitting on Disney and they're killing Star Wars and doing all this shit. I'm like, the numbers say otherwise. The numbers say otherwise. So I mean, I agree in theory. I think every single one of these movies, the Morbius movie, like, they're all terrible. They are horseshit. But people are still going to watch it. And I don't understand why. It's literally our fault. Literally our fault. Zombie says, big corporations do that, though, Dre. They get on a good thing, and then they get more greedy and stuff and mess things up. Yeah. Mega Demon in the house. Good to see you. Rambling Nerd in the house. Good to see you. I still got to see that movie. I have not seen it. Actually, I've not even watched Venom all the way through. I'm not going to bullshit. I've seen clips online. That's about it. Man. So when does the third one come out? October 25th. Venom, The Last Dance. So where I was going with this before was people are asking what universe does this take place in? And I don't know. I don't think Tom Holland's on set here. I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. And I think that's what people want to happen. If I'm them, I keep it a secret. But after the opening weekend, following opening weekend, I would release, hey guys, Tom Holland's in it, FYI. And then get people to go second weekend. Get that extra money. Because look at this. You could argue Carnage did this, but maybe it was just Venom. I don't know. Pretty much, actually it beat. Look at that, it beat. So, I have zero interest in seeing this movie. We still have Craven coming out this year. They keep pushing that thing back. See what happens there. But yeah. Sony got more confidence than Andrew Tate. The way they put these out for people to watch and make fun of. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Before we wrap today, as my audio today has been wild. I'm glad you guys can hear just fine. But for me, it's been crazy. We are getting a Batmobile tomorrow. Tomorrow, Uncle Todd is dropping at 9 a.m. Eastern the animated series Batmobile. Now, last week or the week before, he dropped the Tumbler. I picked up the Tumbler. Got Lucius Fox with that one. I don't know what happens here. I want to buy this, but I'm running into a space issue. Like, I don't know where I'm going to put these. I don't know where to put this. Now, this could be my definitive Batmobile. I don't mind having this, taking pictures with it. But realistically, it's probably going to go in a closet. The same with the Tumbler. The same with the HasLab Ecto 1. You know? I want this Batmobile. I also wanted the 89 Batmobile. This one lights up. Allegedly. Price is going to dictate that. If that Batmobile is $60, done deal. Done deal. I said I wasn't going to talk about Ghostbusters anymore, but last question. Last question to the audience. By the way, people apparently really liked this movie, but that was an early screening, super early. It's freaking movie comes out September. They did a screening in June. So best believe everybody who got invited said it was good because they want. Sorry, everybody who got invited said it was good because they want to get invited again. So there's that. But hey, I'm gonna give this movie a chance because I actually liked the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. That was a tongue twister there. Let's try this again. I really enjoyed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie that came out. So I'm hoping that this one, Transformers one, is good. But I'm also not the biggest Transformer fan. So take that with a grain of salt. I didn't even talk about the HasLab. I'll talk about that on Monday. Where was did they take down the Ghostbuster announcement? Yeah, I feel like they took it down. By the way, we saw these in person at Ghostbusters Day. They didn't sell me on it. Not at 45, but who knows? Here it is. So this was the teaser we got. Obviously, it will be an Ecto 1. Talking about the Batmobile, I'm like, where am I going to put these? And I've told you guys that before. I said, challenge your favorite YouTubers out there, the ones that are buying all the crowd funds, like the Castle Grayskulls, the Nitro stages, even though we're not getting that, but all the stages, Thundercats, Cat's Lair, the Razor Crest. They're buying the Ghost. Where the fuck are you putting these things? Where? So, I don't know. But this one, look, here he is. At the end of the show, General Kenobi showed up. Thank God. Yeah. Tell me what you guys think is your price point for the Ecto 1. Even you casual fans out there, what would you buy a 6-inch? Actually, technically, it's 5-inch scale. What would you buy a 5-inch scale Ecto 1 at? What's the price point? What is the price point? All right, Kenobi, we have a question for you. We've been waiting for you to show up. Yes, we acknowledge that you are on vacation. Hopefully, you're having a good time. Louis says in storage. Yeah, exactly. It's all going in storage. Yeah, sure. Okay, Kenobi. You said you're going to watch the replay, so you can watch the replay to see my thoughts on the Acolyte. Spoiler alert, I hate it, but I defended this week's episode in various parts. The question is, what is the canon reason for Anakin's birth? This isn't a question. You can tell us what the answer is. Or sorry, this isn't like a trivia question. Like we actually want to know the answer. Was it A, Sidious forcing the birth of the Chosen One via like doing it on purpose? B, Sidious and Plagueis doing so much sorcery that it caused the Force to create Anakin? Or C, well, C. Oh, no, it was just those two, right? Them doing it on purpose or their actions causing the Force to make it. I think those are the answers. Or the choices. But is there a third one? Like, was it Plagueis? What's the canon reason? Is what we're looking for. Because I thought that it was the Force created Anakin on purpose to counteract Sidious. That failed, so then it created the twins to counteract Vader and Sidious. That was my thought, but I didn't know if that was canon or not. So hopefully Kenobi's still here and not just drinking margaritas and in the pool right now. We'll give him some time to type because he might just be typing. Dave says 250 to 300 unless the stretch goals are amazing. You know, I think that's still too high for me. It's still too high for me. Do I think it's going to go for that? Yes. I was talking about it with Rambling Nerd. You guys will see that on the episode that drops. But, you know, looking at other vehicles that Hasbro has dropped out, I don't even see how it's less than $300. I think that thing's like $400 or $500. Easy. Which sucks. Absolutely sucks. I wish they would just make a dumbed down version. Maybe, hey, the Cantina, you have 2 tiers. Maybe they do a 2 tiers for the Ecto 1. You know, 150 Ecto 1 without replacement parts and lights. I don't know. Because it's not like I need the lights on it. I don't need the sounds. It doesn't even need to be a HasLab. Just give me the freaking car, man. Just give me the car. Patrick says over 200. I'll pass. Yeah. All right. I'll give Kenobi 2 more minutes. Because then I got to go and finish my pizza. I should have the Jeopardy music to play. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 boom, boom. Yeah. By the way, I wanted these to go with the Ecto 1. I said if I saw them in person and they sold me on it, I would buy the Ecto 1 and then buy these. But they didn't sell me on it. So I think these are going to be long game. If I don't get them, I don't get them. But if the 4-pack goes on sale, if the Ecto 1 goes on sale, then I'll pick them up. Louis says, out of the 1/18th scale Hot Wheels Ecto 1 and the 1A, I think I'll pass on this one. They made a 1/18th scale Hot Wheels as well? That larger, isn't it like one? Yeah. 1/18th scale Ecto 1. Yeah, I think the Hot Toys is like 1/24th or something stupid like that. Oh. Somebody's selling this for $429. Wow. What did that go for normal? I'm stupid. 3 weeks ago. 1/18th scale, Ecto 1, Hot Wheels. What? Shout out to CB.
What's happening, Captain? This your boys.
Sick with it or my
Turn this around. And so let's take a closer look at the Ecto 1. And like I said, we can open up the hood. You can see inside the hood, real nice. Very, very detailed. Showing that off. Engine there. And open up the car doors.
By the way, you guys should subscribe to CB, by the way.
I don't want to mess nothing up.
Putting a link in the chat.
And you can see inside the cab, looking quite nice, showing everything off on this side.
So Louis, was this
Cab.
$2 or $250 when it came out, or are you talking about resale right now?
Mainly up in there, on the side. Finally, they had that. Had it nice with the little gurney and stuff. So, really do like this car. Nice. I was kind of like happy to have this. Diecast pedals, Ghostbusters, Ecto-1. Hope y'all enjoyed this review. Hope you enjoyed fun time making it. And you know, with every review, I will take pictures. This is my Instagram right here. Well, I will leave.
Wow. Okay. Hang on. Ecto-1, 1/18th scale. All right. Watched that last week. Oh, here's a 1A from Ghostbusters News.
With so many choices on Booking.com.
This was 5 years ago. Wow.
I did a room tour video where we
Kenobi, we need that answer. What's canon? Palpatine made Anakin on purpose, or did Palpatine and Plagueis doing their dirty stuff cause the Force to create Anakin?
took you around this entire collection. Glad you have some right now. Now, of course, when it comes to the actual main body here, we've got the details that you'd expect from the Ecto-1A, like the yellow and black as well as orange and black caution striping. But I do want to make note of all the cool little gadgets on the inside of here. Love the Hot Wheels went the extra mile for this one. Alright, now back to those proton packs there because I'm so impatient. Let's pull the gurney out of here. And here they are, 4 small little proton packs.
Oh.
Really bother me. I have more of an issue with things like the hood. I would love to have had that Ghostbuster 2 logo on there. Get rid of the vents here. So yeah, the light system up here doesn't really bother me too much. I Ecto-1A from Hot Wheels 5 years ago. Once again, they are available right now at BigBadToyStore.com. Once again, this video.
Wow. Okay. Sold out $200. Yeah. So there's no section scale has to be like $300. Easy. 300-400. And I'm not going to do it. But I will say this thing being die cast at $200 is kind of selling me on the plastic version at $50. Kind of like that. I'll probably just buy that one. Kind of sold me on it. That's just me. But then there's this. We saw this, a couple weeks ago. Oh, boy. Someday. All right. Well, Kenobi's drinking those Mai Tais, so he won't answer. But it's okay. It's all right. It is almost 10 p.m., and it is time to wrap. So with that, appreciate you guys being here. This was a fun one. Just jumping around topics, franchises, fandoms, the whole nine, the whole thing. HeyArcher Live every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated, but every Monday morning, 9 a.m.-ish, Nerdy Coffee. 2 different shows, 2 different vibes. Either way, you're stuck with this guy. The Ghostbusters Day video will not drop by tomorrow. I thought I could drop by tomorrow. It won't drop by tomorrow. So you're going to get a Ghostbusters comic book issue 3. I think that's tomorrow's video. Subscribe for that. Yeah. Good times. Good times by all. K-Walk. Damn, I'm late. Oh, wait. You guys did your thing, right? I didn't watch that either. That's on my to-do list. You guys did your Hot Wings thing the other day. God, why is it not coming up? Kathy, here we go. Because you guys were eating the Hot Wings on stream. Hang on. I'm going to let the outro still play. I'm going to lower the music a little bit. It's is it not playing the audio?
What is your favorite microwavable food? You name for yourself. What would you pick?
They did a Hot Wings challenge.
Ghost pepper? Death by ghost pepper.
Hand me a tissue.
I'm putting this in the chat.
Yeah, you. Oh, okay. Death by Ghost Pepper. Ghost Pepper, 6 hot sauces.
Ghost pepper is serious.
And the Ghost Pepper is serious. Can
I was nice to the McDonald's workers today. That's so good. That's so good. I'm gonna watch that tonight. Like, comment, subscribe, nerds. Subscribe to KWAL Comedy. Subscribe to everybody else in the chat. And I'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. We're out of here.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Yeah, come on, push a button. Push a goddamn button.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.